Hello everyone, good afternoon. How is everyone doing? Welcome back to another live stream. It's Tuesday, so it's educational content. That's the main purpose of doing this live stream. So welcome. If you are new, please subscribe. And here we're going to just be talking about price action analysis. You can go over any specific pair that you want to. Usually go from major FX pairs to indices to crypto, mostly Ethereum and Bitcoin, and that's what it is. So big day yesterday and today especially, big reversal in the market. So if you have any questions, any pairs that you'd like for me to take a look at, we can just ask in the comments and we go over it. Otherwise, maybe I'll just go through and follow up from the previous live stream that I did on Saturday. So Saturday is weekly analysis and today is more educational. So yeah, so where were we? Last Friday, right? When the market closed, and on Saturday when I did my last live stream. I think we were here, right? I think that's when we opened for the weekend. Yep, on the 10th. That's exactly where we were. So dollar index, it moved exactly as predicted. So we went to the upside. We moved into the same direction as you were moving last Friday, right? Basically last week. We have seen some strength on the dollar again after price reacting from that level that I actually mentioned like 2 weeks ago as a potential zone for price to bounce from. Yeah, initially my zone was a little bit above it, but it was around this level, around this support resistance zone that we had in here, and especially below this low. We had that scenario. We had also this trend line, which was broken today and we moved down. However, we did open in here, right? And I was expecting price to move into the same direction, and then for a potential reversal or reaction to the downside, maybe from somewhere within this high. And eventually, what I'm still expecting is for price to maybe still go a little bit above it and maybe look for a better short somewhere in here, closer to these highs. That's mostly what I'll be looking for on dollar index. Of course, it can actually just go down from where it reacted now. Doesn't really need to go eventually and fake out these highs anymore. But let's see also how price is going to close and what kind of day we're going to have tomorrow. Don't forget that Thursday is going to be the CPI data, so expect a big move on Thursday. So today I think honestly that this is going to be just kind of a price building up in a compression way and eventually move down. So it's going to be interesting to see if tomorrow we are going to kind of reverse again and go all the way back to close to these highs of the day. At this point, I see maybe at least already one low being broken in here on the dollar index on this move to the upside. We have a little bit of all this compression, so all these lows have been taking the demand in there. Maybe at least until here, it was kind of expected. As soon as you break the low, that most likely price would fill the space, and maybe somewhere in there are maybe some orders that some demands that price can still bounce from and maybe go higher. So that's what I'll be looking for on dollar index. We eventually reach maybe some close to these highs. So this was one of the predictions that I did on Saturday. for the dollar index, and so far it's happening, right? The Monday pattern, as I mentioned, kind of opening, price retraces, and then most expect price to still break that that initial high that we had after the retracement, which we had it somewhere in here, price retraced, and then we still managed to break it, to still take that high, and then eventually price during the Asian session today just went upwards, and now it reversed. It break out this level, and on Tuesday, looking for some kind of reversal. It's usually what you should expect. If not Tuesday, then Wednesday. So yeah, what's next? There are maybe, of course, we have this SR zone in there that may have been taken already. Not sure, but I think we have still this demand in here that price can maybe react from. I think maybe we have this level in there. Let me just delete this trend line. Yeah, if I check on 4 hour. Yeah, I think this demand is still fresh, and I could see price having some reaction from there. As I mentioned, if we are about to have some kind of compression move towards this level, so this on the 30 minutes, 1 hour, and so on, it looks like it was been a really big move. All of a sudden, if you maybe zoom out and if you start looking at the daily, pretending that maybe price wants to go till here, maybe this is just price compressing until maybe it turns there, maybe on Thursday, sorry. So if you are about to see something like this, I actually like this level. It's also this daily week in there. This is going to be looking just as a compression zone too. Let's see how dollar is going to react in there. I'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, on the other hand, if we take a look at what's going on with the other indices. Okay, the zero index has respected this level in here, and yeah, we have seen that strength on the euro. Yeah, just respected that level in there for a bit. It kind of made this break to the upside, respected almost the next supply zone, went down, and now it's about to break it again. So this is kind of an engulf to the upside already on the way there. And the Japanese yen is, I think it was another one that I mentioned. Yeah, we fake out this high in here, and price just reversed, reacted to the next supply level that it was in there. It filled out this compression, as you can see, and now price is ready to, it's just turning. So let's see if eventually you get a little bit closer to this level. I'm not sure if this was reacted from where it should. I could see a little bit more potential to the downside. So yeah, let's see if we break this, respect, and then continue to go down. In here, dollar yen has finally reached, basically touched kind of the top when you had that big drop. So that was interesting to see. Let's see if that high is going to hold, or if this is just a small double top that price is creating on today's session. S&P managed to respect this low. It reacted from the demand that we have in here, exactly at these lows, just fake out these ones, and it reacted. So it's respected. We had this trend line. It has respected. Nasdaq, it broke a new low. So we had a new low on Nasdaq. However, there you go, jumped to the upside straight away. It's going to be interesting to see how price behaves around this level, if it respects it or not. So this is the zone that I'll be looking for. These highs in here never really touched there. So it's going to be interesting to see what the indices are going to do around, what the Nasdaq is going to do around that level. It's basically where S&P is maybe getting close to, somewhere in there. This case, this looks like it has already an engulf up. Yep, this 1 week, sorry, like isn't goof up already. So maybe price actually can go higher from here and start respecting these next zones that are being created. Resistance, yeah. Yep, it respected. Now we have a double top, a double bottom in the S&P. Let's see what's going to happen. If eventually going to fake out that level, and maybe turn. Yeah, so far double top is created in there. So interesting to see what's going to happen next. Let's take a look at the major FX pairs. So let's take a look at the predictions that we had made on the euro and the pound for the week ahead, even on the Aussie. So basically all the zones that we talked about on Saturday, so far price has been respecting them. I had mentioned during the stream that this could be a good zone for price to react to around the London Open and then to move down. It kind of happened in there to fake out these lows and actually to react from the weekly demand, the weekly wick kind of where that we had in here. I mentioned exactly that that zone, and is exactly where euro dollar actually end up reacting to in this line, which is also aligned with this high in here. So it was a good zone, and we had all these lows in here to be faked out, and that's exactly what happened on today's session, right? So the reversal after that Monday pattern that I already mentioned, of expecting price to continue to move in the same direction as Friday, especially when you have a good trending day on Friday, and then yeah, price goes down, it goes back to the lows just as it happened, and now the reversal today. So euro dollar has already done that. What else? Where are the next maybe supply levels that may be still fresh? Somewhere in there could be a zone to look for. All this looks a little bit compressed. Not sure if there's anything in here, and eventually I wouldn't be surprised if you take this double top that is in here, triple top that is in there, and price may get closer to this level. I wouldn't be surprised if you eventually do that. All this looked compressed from Monday. That's why I also like these Monday patterns, because usually Monday it's great to take out the, in this case, supply levels, so clean out those levels, so then on Tuesday when price actually is about to reverse, or Wednesday, everything is been taken and price is free actually to just keep going. Maybe take the last one that is in there, and then it's free just to keep moving upwards, right? Nice and goof up in here, and it was a nice reaction. So this was one of the supplies that is still fresh in there. This one almost take that one. So okay, good reaction so far on the euro, and all this looks compressed to me, and eventually we may go higher. So this was one of the predictions that we did for Saturday, and on the last Saturday for the euro. Let's see now how price actually is going to react from here if eventually comes back here. Let's see how it is going to react. There's maybe still some orders somewhere in there. Yep. So that was euro. It's actually a little bit more above it. On the pound, if you remember, right, I had done that higher. Hi Seb, how are you, man? On the pound, as you remember, last week I actually had made this distinction, right, of the exercise of separating these two levels, right, and we had this zone in the middle. And what we have in here, it was exactly that. So after the reversal in there, we could see price, we could see or expect that maybe price would fill out this zone in there, and around these lows it will make a decision, initially we kind of respected a little bit during yesterday's lows. However, price ended up taking the lows from there, right? So this is exactly what we talked about. And in here there will be a decision as well. Either price would actually maybe fill the next zone, a zone that is only visible, a zone that, for example, on a higher time frame, many people is going to see the break of this low as an engulf down and expecting maybe straight away the breakout strategy, right? Maybe retest of that level and continuation to the downside, because you don't see anything in here on this 4-hour time frame, not even on the daily. You definitely don't see any separation between this low and these highs, right? So you think there's nothing in there. But if you actually go a little bit into the lower time frame, you see that there is actually some kind of demand zone flag, whatever you want to call it. There's something in there just underneath these lows that could easily hold price, right? Use as a zone for price to break these lows and then collect liquidity and just go upwards instead of filling straight away the zone to the next the next zone, opposed to these maybe highs in there. So that's what happened. We discussed about that on Saturday. That was a real possible scenario, valid scenario for the pound. We also mentioned that this was actually a really nice zone for pound to react from on the Monday morning, and it did react from, and then of course continuation to the downside, just to continue to move in the same direction that it was been moving since last week. And now we had that break of these lows and the touch in there. So yeah, another one that was predicted last Saturday, and a really nice reaction. So we could see exactly how price is slowing down, how price is losing momentum, how price is starting to create quite a few lows in here, managing to break a few highs as well on the way. This was one of the last ones. Yet it was still a little bit respected this morning. However, that one was already broken all these highs, and eventually price just continued to go higher. Next level, maybe even respecting a little bit this level, could be something that we could expect, and then eventually price can even go higher and even take this highs. Let's see now how price is going to behave around this level, if it's going to respect it or not. Hi Laura. Hey guys. Thank you for joining the stream. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen in here. Did you guys catch any trade today? So this was the prediction on the pound as well last Saturday. There is a chance eventually for price to go down and go the rest of the space. However, so far we need to see if these flows are going to manage to hold price or not. Hey, my Greek friend, man. Ikanis. Yep, pound, right? Let's see now the next level, somewhere in there. Kala. Yeah. Catchy, man. You didn't manage to catch the trades. So yeah, let's see. Nice reaction, pound. Yep. The indication was there, the engulfs to the upside, they were there, even breaking this high as well. So yeah, in order to look for longs today, everything was being kind of built up into that direction. Let's see end of the session if there's going to be any deeper traces, and curious to see how the market is going to behave tomorrow, if we manage to continue to create new highs or if we're actually going to retest today's lows. Deb went long on Ethereum, right? Magnific, man. Let me just take a look at yours. From where to where? 127. Beautiful entry, man. Beautiful entry. Beautiful entry until 129. Alright, fair enough. Just retest the highs. Beautiful trade, man. Amazing. Beautiful trade. Yeah, price is just retesting these lows once more. So if you are about to be ranging again on the Ethereum, we can go higher, right? So last week we talked about this fresh supply that was in there. Price dropped all the way down, and now it's retesting this low once again, right? So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen in here. Beautiful trade, Seb. Amazing. Yeah, so pound, it was another one in there. Let's see now. Price is compressing a little bit. Let's see if this wall holds or if there's any turn to occur in there. Another one that we talked about, it was the Aussie. And what zone did we talk about? We talked about that low on the left side that I wanted to see being taken, right? So that one in there, in here, as you can see, this was the low that I wanted to be seen taken. We talked about that last Saturday. There was maybe some kind of demand still in here. I think price still respected it yesterday. Yesterday lows, I think on Monday, I think price still kind of bounced from there. However, more often than not, we are going to see that higher time frame low being taken, and up to where? Exactly to the next, just to the next level of structure, right? And you have those highs in here, and that's exactly where price reacted from this level of structure, that these lows never reacted from there. There's maybe some demand zone a little bit underneath it that maybe price can still go and react from, but expecting some reaction from there, it was, it's expected. So if you find those lows or highs, the higher time frame, when price is moving like this, like price is going down, so one way to find good zone to expect price to bounce from is exactly that. Find those lows on the left side with a little bit of space just underneath it. More often than not, you can see some reaction. Doesn't mean that price is just going to go to the moon, but some reaction you could expect. Basically, price is almost taking out the move from yesterday. Yeah, that's why yesterday I was looking for shorts on the Aussie. Again, the Monday pattern, right? Price open, it moved down. Where was it? Somewhere in here. Price open, it moved down. It respected that demand zone that I mentioned. It went up, and I was looking for shorts somewhere in here and targeting that exactly that low. I did manage to catch there. I actually entered in here, end up at break even. Price decided to still go a little bit above it. More often than not, price would just continue to go down. This case actually decided to go and collect straight away these orders first. So I actually didn't manage to get anything from the trade. It was a break-even one. I was targeting for price to go below that low. That was my target. And this one was another zone that I was looking for as well. Even yesterday, when price reversed from here, I had maybe a little bit this one, and this one was I was paying attention to it as well. There could be the chance of price retracing a little bit more to go there. Price just stopped in the middle. Apparently is reacting from that zone now. From there. So another zone with a double top in there, a little bit of space, and you can see another reaction, right? So it's kind of a similar scenario that we're talking about from the low on the left side. However, this one we're talking about a 5 minutes or 15 minutes high, or maybe 30 minutes. Yeah, maybe 30 minutes high that you can see it in here. So you still can have beautiful reaction from there. However, if you're seeing a daily high or daily low, you can expect kind of a reaction in alignment with that higher time frame. That's why you can have that big move. It may last just one session, maybe just last that opportunity, and price will just reverse from there and continue to go lower. But there's a big, it's a great zone to look for reversal trades. So yeah, Aussie just reacting from there, close to this level as well. That price is just broken that low. So let's see what's next, right? And if price actually starts to, if price goes all the way back and goes and starts retesting a little bit more these lows, maybe we're going to have that idea what I mentioned before on the dollar index, that maybe we're going to continue to see exactly that compression until maybe Thursday, where we're going to have the big reversal during the CPI data. Yeah, for that to happen, for the pound, for the dollar actually to turn like that, we're going to need to be a bad number on the CPI. This is what I mean. Yeah, if by any chance the price actually retrace back to this and we continue to move a little bit in this compression zone, maybe until get to this level, most likely for the pound, for the dollar to go down, that will mean kind of the indices to go up. And in order for the indices to go up, I think we kind of need a really good, actually kind of a bad CPI data, right? CPI data. So that maybe in hope that the Fed's going to change this its bias. Because if the CPI is again higher than expected, there is no chance that that Fed's going to change their minds, and they're going to see most likely the indices just dropping, and most likely the dollar just going to continue to go higher. So it's going to be interesting to see where price is going to be by Thursday. If the dollar index is anyway close to this level, it's going to be interesting, or if it is by any chance, if it continues to go down, and if it's going to be somewhere in there, it's going to be quite interesting. The last CPI data that came out, as you can, it was this big move in here. So you can see how important these CPI data are, and how it has been creating new shifts in the market, right? New trends. As soon as you had that one, price has been moving down for almost 2 weeks or something like that. And then, yeah, since the beginning of September until the middle of September, and there you go, a new trend. New trend started in there, and it's not the first time. There's been like that quite a few times as well. With CPI, around the CPI data, either one day or either that day or the day after, we may start a new cycle in the market. So it's going to be interesting to see where we're going to be next Thursday. Yep. So next one, we can go to take a look at dollar yen. Dollar yen is retesting precisely this high in here. I would be surprised if we don't take it, if we just respect it. Today we have been respecting it, maybe incentivizing people to adding more shorts into it for them to feel FOMO. I didn't really felt FOMO today on the end, but I felt super upset on the dollar card. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't fake out the high before any reversal. On the bigger picture, it was close to that fresh supply level that I mentioned. I don't know if price had touched it, so of course I cannot go into the war time frame again, that conversation, that topic, because this is 24 years ago. But there's maybe a chance that price can still fake out that high and finally touch the supply in there on the daily time frame. So I'll be looking for that. I wouldn't be surprised as well if after we have that breakout of the high, there's going to be some kind of big move, some kind of spike to downside. First spike up and then maybe the reversal. So it's going to be interesting. Here we are again, almost 20 days afterwards we are here. Dollar yen has been almost taking every single demand on the way up, maybe this level in here is a beautiful zone that we may see price reacting from. This is still a fresh demand in there. Aside from that, I'm not sure if this is one of them. And we have this one. Maybe this is where price is reacting now, because this is maybe the last demand zone that can hold price, and then I wouldn't be surprised if price goes all the way back towards here. 14428. Yeah. Right then, what do you think, man? What's your zone on the yen? What are you looking for? I remember that you mentioned this zone one time. However, price just continued to move upwards, so up until now there was no chance to go long in there. But aside from that, I almost see how this is compressed. Let's see if price takes this demand zone from there, and eventually I wouldn't be surprised if we just have the move to the downside again. Yeah. Dollar CAD. When the dollar CAD today was it was a beautiful setup, which I completely ignored it. So we talked about that as well last Saturday. A small chance that price could react within this level, however, because we had this double top in here, even though this one broke a little bit at one, but it was a double top. It's visible and quite obvious, to be honest. We never had a proper break of a low on the way up as well. We respected this demand, never really had a break of a low. That's why I never even looked for shorts in there. In the higher time frame, we already may have broken a few lows, which may open spy. We broke these lows in here, even though we respected this level in there. And this may be seen as a potential engulf to downside when you finally have that turn. Hopefully this turn hasn't happened yet, because I didn't short it. I completely ignored the engulf down. Another reason to expect the fake out of that double top is because price before was still reacting somewhere in there, and now, yes, now it tests this support resistance level. I still see some kind of supply level a little bit above it. That's why I was still kind of looking for it, and I just hated the way price moved away from here. I completely and don't even know what to say. All these highs in here, it completely turned me off in terms of looking for shorts in there. And because of that, I even ignored completely this engulf, which was too obvious. And I should have definitely looked for sells in here. I was already too late when I started to look at it. And yeah, we're testing these left shoulders in here. We have the break. We even have this small breakdown. So this open space, but all these highs in here, it's just I just don't like them, and I should definitely have traded the short in there, especially after the break of this. This was one of the demands that was still fresh, as you can see. Aside from that, taken, maybe I've taken, and maybe something underneath. If you do break this level, there's maybe more room to the downside. Looking at bigger picture, I think we have almost enough to a potential big reversal, right? You start having all these left shoulders, we have breaks of a lows on the way, and you may see, and we have now the fake out. So a fake out that finally touches the support resistance on the left side. So we may have a big reversal if you break this low. Let's see what's going to happen. Question mark is if this low is already an engulf to downside or not. We did broke this low, but if this is an engulf to downside or not, that's a question mark in there. Short 3821, where are you? Ah, you talked about that level, right? 81. And I mentioned the zone a little bit below that one, right? This was the zone I was looking for, and you're looking at this one, right? You're looking at this supply. Yeah, one of the reasons I was looking at this level, first of all, eventually to fake out these highs. But one of the reasons, I think, yeah, it's this demand zone. It's aligned with this demand zone, the zone that I kind of had it, which in theory this demand zone should have respected price, and it didn't. So it's kind of one of the reasons I was looking for more this zone underneath it and not that that you just mentioned, which kind of aligns a little bit with this level. But yeah, price can easily still go there, right? Maybe you're going to fake me out. Yeah, somewhere in here, maybe a good zone to look for a continuation on the card. We have this demand, so it's a little bit of a few zones that should have been respected and they weren't. We have already this high in here to be faked out eventually. So let's see what the card is going to do somewhere in there. But that zone in there, it kind of attracts me to look for there. So yeah, let's see what the card is going to do. But yes, this card, it was it was a good setup. It was actually a really good setup, and without the confirmation. I just didn't like how the way price moved in here, and because of it, I kind of ignored all the rest that happened, and it was a big mistake from my side. Dollar franc Swiss, it was one that I was looking as well to for a potential short. Price finally reacted from that level that we were talking about, a little bit above it, so eventually fake out this high. I mentioned that, especially after we initially reacted from there. We have this double top, and eventually I would like to see price reacting a little bit from the zone above. One of the things that I liked, it was the compression on approach, right? So again, we have just similar to the euro dollar a few weeks ago that I talked about. We have this move up, we have a low that should have been respected in there, and price never filled this the next zone. So we start compressing from here, compressing. Eventually have this low and another move up, and eventually we are going to have the break and expecting price to fill all this. This was a natural move, and this is one of my favorites. If we have this kind of approach without this compression, with a clear zone on the left side that I want to see price reacting from, this becomes one of my favorite levels. Just to pay attention to when we have that break into this compression zone that can then be filled all the way, not expecting this low to respect price, but at least in the next demand zone, somewhere in there, actually have a nice reaction. And then it's up to the price if it wants to continue to go and create new lows or not. But at least until here somewhere, we could expect price to go to. And this is one of my favorite setups, because it has a clear price is showing weakness. There's a clear zone to look for entry. It has a clear indication or confirmation after the break, and it also includes a clear target without that many barriers to actually stop price from reaching the target that I'm looking for. So yeah, that's one of my favorites. Of course, still may have to fight these demand zones in there, but eventually just going to drop and to fill the zone. So yeah, that was dollar franc Swiss, really nice one. After this, let's see. Now we break it. Now maybe start entering into a new zone that price actually can go and reverse from where it reacted from. Maybe we are as well in a zone now, that price can actually even feel much more than where it is. We also have all these highs to track liquidity. We have to fake out. It's going to be interesting to see what price will do. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Yep, nice little reaction from there. Dollar franc Swiss. Gold was another one that had a big move today, reacting from this demand zone with a KM in between. Another one that, after reacting from that supply, just looking at higher time frame levels and prices pinpoints and moves from one zone to the other, which is quite nice to see actually. It was another one that you could have divided it like this, and then underneath this space, compression on the way up, took this demand first, and then eventually just goes and fills the space. When price reaches this level, this extreme, it's time to make a decision. It either respects it or it breaks it. If it breaks it, it may open space to go further down. If it respects it, and if it keeps respecting, most likely you're going to start maybe seeing price going up, and maybe we shouldn't be looking for any sales in there anymore, and price may even take this top now. So let's see what gold is going to do. There's still some zones in the middle that can hold price down. Yeah, let's see what gold is going to do. Any other pair? Yep, euro just continues to go up. Yeah, pound yen has been moving a little bit similar to the pound. However, there's a big difference now, right? Pound reacted from this level in here, and pound yen is kind of respecting this KM zone that we have in here. So even though price is kind of moving in a similar way, you can actually see the difference of the zones that price is reacting to, and we see that happening quite often in pairs that they are kind of with strong correlation. However, they are reacting from the different zones that have been created, which can give some clues for the future. And if you think about it, now it just broke this high as well. So let's see what's going to happen in here. So yeah, nice reaction from that level. Yeah, any questions, guys? Anything that you'd like to for me to take a look at? Yeah, expecting a little bit of new highs. It's going to be interesting to see how euro is going to react from this level. After a day like this, it's time to start looking again where my price is going to go now, and maybe look for reversals. So on the other hand, you can see that these small zones in here, they are being left behind. We can see that this demand at this point has been left behind in here, hasn't been respected. Not respected, but hasn't been touched. Price just paused. It's about to pause again, and may just take this demand in there and may go higher. Let's see if this one is left behind, aligned with the support resistance. This was a supply level in there. The price still respected for a bit. So yeah, starting to keep an eye on these new zones that are being created that price hasn't touched. So it's always a repetition of the same behavior. As price is evolving to the upside, start paying attention to zones that price should have been respected and it hasn't yet, because they were left behind, or that should have been respected and it was broken, that they may be respected on the other way around. Yep. I think Aussie had left as well one zone in there after such a strong compression, and then all of a sudden it just jumped. Yep, somewhere in here there is this little zone that price may go to, even have a little bit of a gap in there. So, and it's aligned with this level of support resistance from the day before. Again, this will kind of maybe should have gone there, it didn't. So let's see, we have maybe did that the other zone as well. Yeah, let's see what's going to do. what's going to happen in there. Yeah. Yep. All right, guys. I think that's it for today. Yeah, nothing else much. Right, in 1 hour, Benfica is going to play against PSG, so looking forward for the match. Hopefully, we can continue our not winning streak, but at this point in 50 matches, I think we haven't lost a game, so it's going to be interesting. Messi is not going to play, so and Mbappe now it wants to leave PSG. Big crisis in there. But yeah, looking forward for the match in 1 hour. Until there, it's going to do my daily report card, and that's it. I will see you guys next Saturday. Good luck in the markets. Yep, stay disciplined, follow your rules, and be careful with the CPI data on Thursday. Thank you guys. If you haven't subscribed, do so. If you have got any value, you can share it and write me. You can write any comments of anything that you'd like me to cover next time. Thank you. See you next time. Obrigado.